All right, guys, so today we are doing a little mini vacation or trip. I don't know what you'd call it, but we're going to spend a couple nights out of town. One night in Williamsburg and one night in
Washington, DC again. Woo!
Another night in Washington, yeah. Because we have to go to Washington, DC in order to apply for the Schengen visa for Europe, because we want to go there in July. We want to go to France, Monaco, and Switzerland, so we have to go there and get basically a European visa. So we're making a little trip today, and Mai is going to be driving on the freeway for the first time. Over here, love. She's going to be driving on the freeway.
Wish me luck.
In the Lexus, so we're going to wish her luck and see how this goes. And next stop, Williamsburg.
Woo! See you later, guys.
See you on the freeway.
He is just so happy that I can finally do this because he wants to be a passenger prince.
That's right, love. I love just sitting here relaxing. Oh, so nice. Yeah. You can just kick back and relax while your wife drives. Alright guys, we made it. Up here is our hotel. We're going to park here and then go over to Williamsburg. See what we got.
Guys, did you see that grapes in there? It's all grapes because our hotel is a winery.
Wow, look at this.
It's called Williamsburg Winery.
Yeah, and the hotel is called Wedmore. There it is, Wedmore Place. Alright guys, so we made it here to our hotel. And check out this place. This is pretty cool. It's kind of like a European themed hotel. And like each room has its own European vibe going on from different areas in Europe. So check this out here. Look at this. It's pretty cool. I don't know if I think it's newer. And they just make it look like it's older, but it definitely has a feel like a classic European place.
Okay. Thank you.
You got this statue here. And over here they got a fountain. And there's Mai.
I'm gonna give you a tour.
She's gonna give us a tour of our room here. We are number 8.
Which is my favorite number.
Champagne room. I think that's Champagne, France. There's a place in France called that.
And that's my favorite number. Remember?
Yeah, it's your favorite number. It's my favorite number too.
It's always
You got it?
in the paper. What?
Here it is, guys. Look at this. This is pretty cool. I'm going to set the stuff down here. I'll give you a quick tour. Let's check it out. Alright guys, this is pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. It has these nice tall ceilings. They're probably like 10 or 11 feet tall. You can feel like you're in a old French, like an old French mansion or a chateau or something. And look at this tapestry they have on the wall. That's so cool. They got this little chandelier, a bed over here, king size bed. All right, so guys, they have these wines that they make right over next door to us. We're gonna go over there in a moment and check it out. We get 2 free wine tastings, see what that's all about. And they make these wines here. It's called the Williamsburg Winery. And yeah, we could buy this bottle for $25 if we wanted to, but we're not big wine drinkers, so we'll just do the tasting. But yeah, so this is a pretty room here, and they got a lot of nice furniture here, and over here is the bathroom. Maya's checking out. All right, here we are, guys, at the Williamsburg Winery. Gonna get our free
enter in
tasting
room area.
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
What's the name?
42. Petit Verdot.
We're gonna try that.
Yeah. Oh wow. All right guys, so we got this free sample over here at the winery, and we ended up getting a whole flight here for free. It's Italian wine of some sort.
I'm gonna try this one.
Maya's gonna be falling asleep at 6 p.m. All right guys, so we just got back from the winery, which was an interesting experience because we don't know much about wine or wine tasting.
I mean, we know some of the wines, but
well, not really.
It's a red wine.
I don't really know much about wine.
Yeah, but we just really tried, and we ordered the most expensive one because we got a free coupon with that.
Yeah, we got a free coupon with the hotel room, and we ended up getting free 4 wines. It's called a flight. And we didn't really enjoy them. Did you? That's all right. And we're gonna go check out Williamsburg. All right, guys, so we just made it to Colonial Williamsburg. And this is an old historic district. Just like the name sounds, it's a colonial town, probably founded like 400 years ago by early European settlers in the Americas. And it's pretty much just how it was back then. I mean, they keep it restored and everything, and it's kind of like a tourist destination where people can come and check out what life was like back then. And so yeah, you just walk around and you check out the different areas. Alright guys, so this is Colonial Williamsburg. And as you can see, they got these colonial houses.
Wow.
Over here.
That's cool.
Look at that. They got cannons here. I think this is like the main area of town or something.
Really?
Yeah. This is what they call the armory, where they stored all of their munitions and stuff. Alright guys, here we are at the College of William and Mary, taking a quick stroll. This is actually a pretty university. Pretty buildings here. You get a good education before you move on into the real world.
You will have a hard time finding a job.
You'll have a hard time finding a job. So don't spend too much money on college unless you really know what you're doing. This is kind of an interesting place, guys. It finds all sorts of new nooks and crannies. You got some sheep grazing over here. Whoa, that's a huge tree there, guys.
Oh yeah.
Like there's like 15 trees growing off of one tree, it looks like. It's huge. Look at how big that is.
It's humongous.
It is.
Wow. It's even on the floor. Like
Yeah.
on the ground now.
It's, I think, probably one of the biggest trees I've ever seen. Except for that one in the Philippines at Ayala. Triangle, yeah. Look at that garden over here.
So nice.
Oh, nice wildflowers. So they have all sorts of different little gardens and buildings here in Williamsburg. You just kind of poke around and see what you see, I guess. All right, guys, so we're coming back to our car after checking out Williamsburg for a couple hours. And
like 2 or 3 hours now?
yeah, maybe a couple. I think we got here at 4:30. Now it's about 6:30 or so.
Oh yeah.
So, but at first I thought it was a little quiet or something, but then it kind of grew on me after a while, and I started appreciating it more towards the end.
Oh.
Like, I think if we had that pass where we could go into like each building and see what they do and stuff like that, it'd be really interesting. Yeah, but the pass is $35 each, and we didn't want to get that right now. But if we had that, I think it'd be pretty interesting for one day. What do you think, love?
What do I think?
Yeah.
I think so, but you have to be early, so
You have to be
you
early.
can visit all the places that they have in there, because it's $35.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they have like outdoor like demonstrations or something where they put on like a play or like an act or something. And so you could see things outside also. So I think if you came during like the operating hours, like 9 to 5 or whenever they're open, you'd probably have enough
Time
to check out for the whole day. Yeah. All right, guys, so day 2,
I'm so full.
we had she had a really nice breakfast, and I got a to-go box for the breakfast. And
We don't, I mean, we always make sure that if it's free, we should grab it. Find
Yeah.
ways to grab it.
so I got a to-go box, and I'll have that for lunch, but it's really nice breakfast. It's a little chilly out, guys. It's the end of May and we're a little chilly here. We're gonna have to put on like a long sleeve,
Wow.
put on a sweater or something.
I mean the grapes.
Yeah, so this is called Williamsburg Winery. It's where we were yesterday. We're actually over there yesterday, and they have some buildings and tasting rooms and a restaurant and stuff. And they make their own wine here on their field. Wow, and it's a pretty big field. It goes way over there. All right, guys, let's go on a little walk around Williamsburg Winery. Take a couple pictures too with this cutie. And she ironed her hair this morning, so it's nice and straight and nice looking. Look at that plane up there. It's like a little biplane.
Oh wow.
The Williamsburg Winery. This place was really happening yesterday. Isn't today still a holiday? Maybe they're closed today.
How nice. I'll give you a tour
Yeah.
of this area. And this is very interesting area. Look at the structure. Oh wow, that's cool.
This is cool, guys. This is Wedmore Place in Williamsburg. They have a little fountain down here. All right, here we are. Head to the historic Jamestown. And yeah, this is where the first English settlement was. And there was a Ford truck driving to the settlement. But yeah, this is where the first English settlement was. And they settled over here, and this is where Pocahontas was.
Really?
And John Smith.
In this area?
Yeah, right here. Oh, right over there. And then they got together, and she ended up going to England. And yeah, famous story. So this is it. 400 years ago, this is where they landed.
Oh, cool.
Well, not right here, right over there, guys. We'll go over there in a second. All right, guys, so today is Memorial Day, actually. And we just kind of stumbled upon this place while we're going to DC. It's the Fredericksburg battlefield. And it's pretty interesting. I've never been to a Civil War battlefield site before, but they have these nice descriptions, and you walk along the path and they'll tell you exactly what happened at each location. So basically there's this big hill right here, and the Confederate soldiers were over here firing down on the Union soldiers over there, and they give you information about how it took place and what happened in each location. It was pretty interesting. So this was a nice little stop for today, and it's kind of like an outdoor museum because they give you like these facts along the way at each point.
And it's giving you a description that feels like, oh, you stand in here and like do your imagination.
Yeah.
How it works.
You can imagine what it was like just standing right here in this very spot. But
they give you a good description.
Yeah. So it was a Civil War battle, and they actually have, I think, 3 or 4 around here that are also available to the public, and we might swing over and check out another one if we have enough time. So, like I was just saying, today is Memorial Day, where we remember the people who lost their lives in the wars. And they have all these flags out at this cemetery over here, right at Fredericksburg Battlefield. And kind of reminds me of Arlington Cemetery. I've never been to Arlington, but this is what it looks like in the photos I've seen. So this is something here. This must have been all the people who were in the battle. Alright, so this is another part of the Fredericksburg. This is another part of the battle for Fredericksburg here. This is a hill kind of about a mile away or something from that other place we're just at. And they had these big cannons lodged up here on this hill, shooting way down there, like a mile away. And they had it all zoned in exactly where they wanted to fire. So that's pretty interesting. I've never been to a site like this. But if you start reading all the information they put here, they make it pretty straightforward. So we were over here before, around this area. That's where the main battle took place. But this, we had to drive over here. They had these cannons shooting way over here and even further over towards the river. So looks like they had all sorts of cannons here. And yeah, it's interesting. Well, that's enough of that. Now on to DC. All right, guys, so we made it to DC, and we made it to our Airbnb also. And now we're just taking a little walk in the neighborhood by our Airbnb. It's a nice little area with nice homes. It's a little bit more residential than the last place we're at. And we're right over here next to Massachusetts Avenue. Love to say Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Hey, she got it. So, Massachusetts Avenue has like a lot of embassies on it from around the world. So it's kind of interesting. We're going to go over there and take a little stroll before we have dinner and see what we find.
Woo.
Whoop, whoop. All right, guys, so here we are at the National Cathedral, and this is actually just right around the corner from our Airbnb. We've only been walking about 5 minutes, and we found this. Oh, this is actually a pretty big building here, and it's the National Cathedral, so like every 4 years the president will have a service here before he starts his presidency, and they also have services every Sunday also. So yeah, it's not super old, but maybe like 100 and 150 years old or something like that.
Oh wow.
Cool.
Look at that.
Yeah. Okay, guys, it looks like one of the gargoyles is Darth Vader. That's interesting.
Where?
these pillars right here are the columns that support the main building. It's called a flying buttress. They come up here on the side and then go over like that. That supports the main building over here. It's all around. She's laughing. Hey, that's the one of the few things I learned in architecture school.
Yeah.
Or one of my drafting architecture classes.
Good for you, though.
Good for me. All right, guys, so that is the National Cathedral in Washington, DC. Very pretty. It's a nice, enjoyable walk. There's stuff to do all the way around the whole building, just on the outside. So if you ever get a chance, I'd say come over here and check it out. Did you like it?
I'm just like...
All right, guys, so we're back here in Washington, DC.
I just yawned.
5 months later.
Was it 5 months?
Yeah, because we're here in December, and we had to come back. This morning we went over to the visa center to apply for the Schengen visa for her, and we got that all done. That's submitted. We'll have to see how that turns out.
I hope it's a positive one.
We're hoping that we get that visa, but in the meantime, we made our way back to the White House, and this time the front of the White House of Pennsylvania Avenue is open. So we're gonna go check this out. We could look right at it and we could see what it's all about. So let's go check it out. Right here?
Where?
Anywhere you want.
Which one is the best?
This is kind of good here.
Now we skip to the end of the book of Romans where he says, now I'm on my way to Jerusalem, the end of this third missionary journey, but because the churches in Greece were pleased.
It's a nice...
Here we go.
Washington, DC. All right, guys, now we're walking over to Georgetown waterfront. We're gonna check out the park there at the waterfront, see what that looks like. It's a little bit of rain coming down, but hopefully we'll be all right. If not, we'll have to get like an umbrella or something.
I know, we go to the mall.
We're gonna go to the mall? I don't know where that's at.
There's no mall in here? Oh my god, there's no mall?
There's probably a mall, I just don't know where. Or if it's on the walk or not. George Washington. All right, guys, so we made it here to the Georgetown Waterfront Park. And I think this is the Swedish embassy right here. It says House of Sweden. And over here, let's see what we got. I've never been here before. Over there is Arlington with the buildings.
Oh, look at the boat.
That's cool. Is that an office building or is that like a restaurant? Nobody's there though.
You can walk in here now?
Nobody's here for lunch today. All right, guys, we made it to the Georgetown Waterfront Park, and it's exactly what it sounds like. It's a waterfront park. And there's a river over here. Very nice. Looks like you could walk over there even. And Georgetown is over there. Now we're trying to find a spot to eat.